Hello, today we're installing a Walpole Outdoors double gate. The first thing we'll do is we'll measure the opening so we can locate the gate post. We located the two positions for our gate posts, and then we set up a string line so that they would be in line with each other. After we marked the location of our two gate posts, we dug holes approximately 3 feet deep. And then we tamped the soil in the bottom of the hole to create a flat surface. And we'll drop a block into the bottom of the hole so the gate posts will rest on it and prevent them from sinking. Now that our post holes are dug, we'll check the grade so that we can make the posts even on the top and cut them if necessary. Now that we've measured the grade, we've determined that this spot is 1.5 inches lower than that one. So we will cut the posts accordingly so that they're level across the top. When we measure the grade, we make sure to measure the grade at the post locations, as well as the location where the gate will be in the open position, to make sure we have proper clearance. Now we can go ahead and set our gate posts. At this point, we'll plumb our posts. We'll put a little soil in the bottom so that we can set the bottom so it doesn't move when we pour our cement. Now that our post is in position and plumb, we'll mix concrete. Pour the concrete around the base of the post. It's important on a gate this size to put 2 to 4 bags of concrete into each hole. Now that our posts are installed, we'll let the concrete set for 2 to 4 days. While our gate posts set, it's time to dress our gates. We'll install the hinges and the latch. At this point, take note of which way your gate will swing. If your gate swings in, your hinges will be located on the inside of the gate. If the gate swings out, the hinges will be located on the outside of the gate. When we install the hinges, we make sure that the strap is centered on the rail and parallel with the rail. If we're installing larger hinges such as these, we may offset the strap on the rail. When attaching the strap hinge to the gate, each one has 1 1/2-inch bolt. So we pre-drill a 1/2-inch hole through the gate, bolt the hinge on, make sure it's parallel to the gate, and then we install the screws. When installing the cane bolt, we install the bottom bracket low on the gate, but remembering that we need somewhat of a space so that the bolt doesn't come through the bracket when we raise it. The second bracket is installed in a position so that the cane bolt can be lowered and be accepted in the ground. And then the retainer bracket is installed at a height so that the cane bolt will clear the ground and so that it won't come through the bottom bracket. Now that our hinges are installed, we installed our ring latch. And on this style of gate, universal, there's a latch pad, and we center our ring latch right in the center of the latch pad. First thing we did here was we drilled a pilot hole. That pilot hole will tell us the location of the ring latch hole on both sides of the gate. The next thing we did was we drilled a 1 1/8-inch diameter hole on both sides, a 1/4 inch deep. And that's so that the ring latch won't bind when it operates. The last step in drilling, we drilled a 5/8 diameter hole all the way through the gate. And that's where the square rod that joins the two rings, front and back, will be located. After we drill the holes in the gate, we attach the ring with the bar attached on the hinge side of the gate first. We center it over the hole and secure it with 1-inch screws. Once that's done, we cut the square rod 1 inch longer than the thickness of the gate. Put that in place, and then we can screw the other ring on the other side of the gate over the square rod centered on the hole. And that also gets secured with 1 inch screws. Now that our gate is dressed with the hardware on it, we'll come back in a few days when the concrete is set to hang them. It's been several days since we've set our gate posts, and now that the concrete is cured, we're here to hang the gates. They've been dressed with the hardware, and we've also added a fence panel on either side. Before we hang the gates, we double check our space to make sure that we have the proper spacing between each leaf. With our gate space set, we calculated how much space we'll have between each leaf. We'll set our first gate leaf in place on top of these wedges, which will help support the gate at the proper height. We put both gate leaves in place on top of our wedges. We got our space even on both ends and in the middle. We aligned our heights. We secured both gate leaves with our bottom cups only on the hinges. And that's so that we can test the gate swing, make sure it operates perfectly, and then we'll go ahead and put the rest of our screws in. We've double checked our spacing and the function of the gate and pre-drilled and installed the rest of our screws. With our gates swinging and functioning now, we installed a retainer pipe in the ground to receive the cane bolt when the gate's in the open position and in the closed. The final piece of hardware to install is the striker. We put the gates in the closed position, align it with the bottom of our bar, and secure it with our screws.